Hello, everybody. I have decided to create this bonus training for you all. This training is designed to uncover your blind spots, to uncover the hidden emotions that are running your show, and to give you something to do with that. And the invitation isn't to rush through this. The invitation is to take the time that you need to reflect, respond, integrate, take action on, test, and tweak. Because if your business isn't where you want it to be, my guess is there's something in this training that's going to change that. That's going to be able to move that for you. It's really important you don't take this as a blame game. It's really important that you don't use this to add to your story, but you just use it to really enhance your business and enhance what you're doing and how you're showing up. So I'm going to give you a series of questions, and these questions, I'm then going to give you an action that you can take afterwards. You could do this over weeks, you could do this over months. It's not a rush in and do it once thing. If you find something that comes up, great, stick with it for a bit until that's no longer true, and then move on to the rest. So section 1 is about your personal foundations. Who are you being while you build your business? So I'm going to ask you some awareness questions first. And I'm going to invite you to journal on them. Sometimes you're going to go with just the first thing that comes up. Sometimes there might be something deeper that follows. But the invitation is just to keep a specific journal for this place, because could be one of the most important trainings that you do to grow your business, because you are your business. And if you have blind spots that you can't see that are running your show, your business is never going to grow. So question number 1, when things feel stuck in my business, what story do I tell myself about why? When things feel stuck in my business, what story do I tell myself why? Now you could stop this video, write that question down, and write your answer before you move on. You don't have to write them all down as one. You can literally work on them bit by bit. Or you can write them all down and then work on a section at a time. It's totally up to you. Question number 2. Where do I still look for reassurance, permission, or validation? Where do I still look for reassurance, permission, or validation? Question number 3. What part of my identity feels most fragile when my business feels uncertain? What part of my identity feels most fragile when my business feels uncertain? Now, remember, all of the trainings that I do are all dual purpose. So not only are they useful for you to go through and work through, you could take your clients through this exact same training and then replace the word business with relationship, with belief about yourself, about actions that you want to take, goals you want to achieve. So you could ask these same questions and uncover a lot and take your clients really deep in these. So it's dual purpose. Question number 4. When I imagine being fully booked at my desired rate, what emotion appears first? Close your eyes. Imagine being fully booked, looking at your diary, you're booked for the next 3 months solid at the rate you want. What comes up first? Some people that'd be overwhelm. For some people, that'd be gratefulness. For some people, that'll be fear. For some people, it will be wanting to back off. Everybody's different, and there's no right or wrong answers in this. There's just your answer, so you know what you're building. You're building in line with your nervous system. You're building in line with being regulated, so you don't flip backwards and forwards in these circles and cycles. Question number 5. What do I avoid doing consistently, even though I know it matters? What do I avoid doing consistently, even though I know it matters? There are things we've all got. We're all human, right? But the people who build a business are consistent. What are you avoiding? Question number 6. Where do I confuse self-doubt with being realistic? Our brains are really sneaky. They can very quickly and easily take that doubt that we have and then just go, yeah, well, this is what it's really like, and put it into being realistic. Question number 7. How do I respond when something doesn't work? Do I get curious? Do I self-criticize? Do I withdraw, or do I overwork? Your energy matters. The place you come from makes the difference in the results that you get. How do you respond when something doesn't work? You get curious. Do you self-criticize? Do you withdraw? Do you overwork, or something else? Question number 8. What am I secretly hoping that somebody else will notice or fix for me? For me, it used to be technology. What am I secretly hoping that somebody else will notice or fix for me? Question number 9. Where am I performing competence instead of resting in it? That means, where am I showing up? Where am I being unsure? Proving, trying to prove yourself, trying to show everybody you can do it. And you know what? Like, full transparency, I did this on a call just last week. And I got called right out for it, right? It's like, wow, there's no need to do that here. And I was like, geez, Louise, yeah, you're right. I don't do that anyway. It's weird that I jumped in and doing that here. Where am I performing confidence? Where are you showing that you're confident? Instead of just being it, resting in it. And if your business mirrored your inner state right now, what would it show you? Now, I get at the moment it's Christmas, so it might show that you're busy, that you're flapping, that you're switched off and chilled, right? But in the normal, how you are, if your business is mirroring your inner state, what's it showing you? Now, before you move on to the next section, going to look at the action steps that you can take and the action steps that you can give to your clients if you take your clients through the same process. And action number 1 is Like write the dominant story that you're telling yourself when your business feels slow, and don't reframe it. Just just take a look at the answers that you've got and just what feels true about that and write it down. And then write an alternative explanation, completely neutral, not positive, but possible. So we don't want to go to like just being not active or maybe not really motivated to a Tony Robbins motivation. Right? We don't want that. We just want a more of a neutral alternative explanation of that story. Or what else is possible instead of you feeling that way. And it could be something along the lines of, when my business feels slow, I tell myself, oh, I'm just not cut out for this. And I should just give up and walk away. I heard that many times. Like a neutral explanation wouldn't be, I'm going to go all in, I'm going to make it work, I'm going to do this next training, it's going to be fabulous. It could simply be something along the lines of, I'm just not going to let my thinking get in the way this week. Right. And that's a possibility. So you're gonna say the thinking, but still take any action anyway, instead of letting you stop you. And then for one decision, action number 3, for one decision this week, don't seek permission, don't seek reassurance, but ask yourself, what do I already know? And then act on that. So we're building, and we're going to start to build a muscle of self-trust, of nervous system regulation through making choices and decisions in steps that are manageable without catapulting you back into retreat or hide or this is too much zone. Take a look at an uncomfortable task that you have to do and just sit with it for 5 minutes. Don't try and hide from it. Don't try and dismiss it. Don't try and fix it. Don't try and escape it. Just sit with it. But actually sit with it for 10, because after 9 minutes, your comfort zone's been expanded. After 5, it's already, the emotions are already settling, the self-regulation system's already starting to work. After 10, it's going to be gone. And then what do you know what you're going to do after that? Once that discomfort's passed, then take the action. And at the end of each day throughout this week, I want you to note the most predominant state that you've been in. Whether that's grounded, whether it's rushed, whether it's steady, whether it's hesitant, whether it's motivated, whether it's not. Just write it down. No judgment. And we're going to do this for a week. And then you can, if you want to, you can either continue doing this for another week or you could do it for a month, right? Because depending on how many you've got, you could repeat this with different beliefs, with different stories, with the next story that gets repeated. And you could literally work your way through this. And so can your clients if you work with your clients for this. Okay. Now, section 2 is going to be looking at your business clarity and the structure, because without structure, we're just throwing spaghetti at the walls. And if you don't have the structure to lean on, when you need to lean back, you've got nothing to support you. So we want to stop that. And again, like everything, you can use this with your clients in their struggles. So your awareness questions first. Can I explain my offer in one sentence without apologizing or over explaining? The amount of coaches that I see who will waffle and go on, and I've been there and done that, will to try and make them see, make it feel like they're worth it, that they give good value, to explain what they do. How can you simplify it to one sentence? Calm, true. And then nothing on the end. No apologizing, no over explaining, no giving value, no giving people experience without invite. Question number 2. Who do I know that my work is for now? Right now. Who do you know that your work's perfect for right now? Not for who you hope it will be for in the future. Now, you can translate this question to a client question for yourself. It could be, what impact do I want this work to have on myself first, right now, not later? Right? So it doesn't have to be your business. It can be for your personal, for your relationship, for your self-belief, for your goals that you want. But for you, who do I know that my work is for right now? Not who you hope it'll be for later. Question number 3. What parts of your business feel vague, feel loose, and feel overly complex? If they're too complicated, guess what? You're not going to do them. Which part of your business feels vague, loose, or overly complex? Write it down. Again, with your clients, which part of this problem feels vague, loose, or overly complicated? Simple play on words to change this to make a powerful training to take your clients through. This could make a really powerful series of sessions. You could easily do this over four sessions, and repeat it into more depth for depending on what it is they want to work on. And you've got permission to do this, right? It's not about I'm giving it all, give it all away. Like, work with your clients with it. If you're currently looking for clients and you don't really have very many at the moment, or you've got space for some more, and you are open to doing either a short offer, who you know that your work is for now, contact them and make them an offer with these 4 sessions, right? Potentially it might be helpful. Question number 4. Where do I mistake movement for progress? Where do I mistake movement for progress? So some things happen, so you do something, but your business doesn't move forward. But because this thing's happened, you've created this website, or you've done this page, or you've created this training, until you do something with it, it's not progress. Until you get results, it's not progress. Question number 5. What decisions have I been delaying under the label of thinking it through? And I'm also going to add on to waiting for the right time in this. What decisions have you been delaying under the label or the guise of thinking it through, waiting till the time's right? Question number 6. How confident are you in your pricing? Emotionally confident, not logically, not, but I've done all of these hours, it's going to take this, so X, Y is this plus times 10 hours of none of that. Emotionally, how confident are you in your prices? Because again, it's emotional regulation that we need. And if you don't have an emotionally regulated price that you can just say with no energy in it, no attachment in it, then people are going to feel that attachment and energy. Question number 7. If you were to remove 30% of your effort, what would you keep? If you were to remove 30% of your effort, what would you keep? Question number 8. What systems are you avoiding because they feel too grown up, feel too complicated, feel as though you're not ready for them yet? But you know that the system is probably going to be helpful. What systems are you avoiding because they feel too grown up, complex? Not right. You're not ready for them yet. Question number 9. Where are you relying on hope instead of structure? Where are you relying on hope instead of structure? For your clients, where are you relying on hoping something will change over taking action to make change happen? Question number 10. What would be the first thing to give way if your business suddenly doubled? What would be the first thing to break if your business suddenly doubled? The actions that you can take. Complete this before moving on to the next section. Write your offer in one sentence and then read it out loud until it just feels right and trips off the tongue. You're going to have a lot of potential, you're going to have a lot of overthinking coming in. Let it be. Refer to section 1, your first sections. You could actually make this one of the things that you work on for. You worked on a week. If you worked for a week on creating this sentence, and remember, it's a sentence for now, not the future. It can change in the future. You're not set in stone when you're creating something. Create it for now and let it be for now, because you can come back and create something else when the time's right to create something else. Next action. Identify one weekly activity that actually is going to create momentum and schedule it. Get it in your diary. Commit to taking action. Tell me or tell somebody else that you're going to do it. One weekly activity that would create momentum and schedule it and do it. Action number 8. Stop doing one task that looks productive, but if it doesn't create clarity, if it doesn't create clients and it doesn't create income, stop doing it. That might be joining every flipping webinar of training that's on. It might be reading books consistently, but doing nothing with them. Next action. Take a look at one delayed decision, one decision that you've been putting off, and then decide within 24 hours and implement it within 72. We've got Christmas, all right? So if you're doing this in January or in the next weeks, give yourself the time and the grace period to do that. And then action number 10, if 3 clients join me tomorrow, what would get wobbly? And strengthen only that part. We're not trying to do everything at once. Just doing something useful right now. So the next section is your client experience and results. And this is how your coaching actually lands with people. So let's look at the awareness questions first. And you can do this again with your clients. And if it's like working with, so the first question is, how can I describe the shift that my clients experience, not just the outcome, the shift that they feel? And you can ask your clients, like, what shift needs to happen? What do they want to feel? How do they want to feel different? Not just the outside outcome, the internal experience. So this is how we can use it for them as well. Can you describe the shifts that your clients experience? Now, I've had a number of clients this week who've all told me that they've been signing up clients, that they're finding their voice, they're finding their rhythm, um, that things are just starting to fall into place. And one of the conversations I had was very much about how they're no longer in scarcity. Now, the shift of wanting a client and needing a client is huge. And it's also business changing, literally business changing. So I just wanted to give that as an example. Question number 2, how would your clients describe your work when you're not in the room? How would you describe mine? I can say a number of different responses to this, depending on the number of responses and work that the clients themselves have done. Some people are going to go, that's very impactful if they've never watched a video, if they've never turned up for a call, if they've never been on and asked me and asked a question. And then people in my mastermind are going to be like, amazing, right? So you're going to get a different thing depending on the different investment that people have put in. So this is something you can work with your clients as well. Where might your clients feel unsure, hesitant, or overly dependent on you? Overly dependent. Where might your clients feel unsure, hesitant, or overly dependent on you? As coaches, it's a fine line between supporting and enabling, because we want our clients, we've got to be able to see the fact that all of our clients can get what they want and be who they want to be without needing us, but we can help them guide the way. Question number 4. Do I lead my clients towards self-trust or towards me? Do you give them a little bit of time and space to come up with their own answers? Or are you quickly like, let's jump on a call and see if I can help figure this out for you? Right. One's enabling, one's empowering. Question number 5. What moments in my coaching create the deepest transformation? What moments in my coaching create the deepest transformation? Question number 6. Where do my sessions drift instead of deepen? Where do we stay surface level instead of asking the questions that would go deeper? That comes with experience, that comes with practice. Question number 7. How do you respond to resistance? Do you soften it? Do you challenge it? Do you avoid it? Question number 8. Do clients leave your sessions clearer, calmer, or just emotionally relieved? When they're just emotionally relieved, sometimes that can just be a temporary offloading relief that they feel. And because nothing's been worked out to come up with a solution, or they haven't seen a solution or an action they can take, that can come back. Question number 9, where might you be overgiving instead of empowering? Question number 10, if clients fully embodied what you share, how would their lives look different? If your clients feel fully embodied with what you share or how you teach or how you coach, how would their lives look different? be different, feel different. Right, now we're going to be looking at the actions that you can take from this. You can start off with ask one client what feels different and how you think or respond since we started. When you're ending a session, end the session with what do you trust yourself to do next? Let them lead, let them come up with the answers. Action 3. Identify where your sessions usually speed up and slow that down the next time. Have much greater impact. Action 14. Notice one place where you're doing the work that the client could do. Step back just a little bit. And your next action is write 3 sentences now describing the internal transformation that your clients experience. Right. So our next section is visibility, your voice, and relationships. This is all about how you are known and how you're experienced. These awareness questions are going to be fun. Question 1, where do you hold back from what you want to say publicly and why? Question number 2, where does your voice soften when it should land? Where do you go from conviction to convincing? Question number 3, how do you feel after sharing? Expanded or exposed? And again, if we're looking at this in a relationship, where do you not say, why do you not put your needs out there and tell people what you need? Where do you put yourself last? Where do you make, when your voice softens, where are you making excuses for somebody else instead of standing in your truth? So we can just, again, alternate all of these questions with your clients. Question number 4, what response are you waiting before you show up fully? Are you waiting to be invited? Are you waiting to have somebody else say something first so you can agree with that? As coaches, we're leaders. We have to lead. We have to be the people that are the thought leaders, that are the ones that stand up and get counted. And not everybody's going to like that. So what response are you waiting before you show up fully? Question number 5. Where are you diluting your message to stay safe or agreeable? Question number 6. Who do I compare myself to? And what am I assuming they have? Who do I compare myself to? And what am I assuming they have? Question number 7. Do people understand what working with you feels like? Do people understand what working with you feels like? Because if people don't know, they're never going to want some of it. Right? There's a reason why stalls and give giveaways if you're outside or in the supermarkets that they have taste testers for new products so people can taste it and have an experience of it. And, that's nice. I'll have some more. What do people understand about you? What do they know what that feels like? And if they don't, do you not tell them? So reviews, what can you do? We'll go on to the action step in a second. How often do you initiate conversations rather than waiting for somebody else to? Question number 9. What relationships could transform if you nurtured them properly? What relationships could transform if you nurtured them properly? Question number 10. What version of you is still waiting to be authorized, to be given permission to show up? What version of you is still waiting in the behind the curtain, right? And then we've got our action steps. Share one insight that feels true to you, but not overly dramatic. It's not about being controversial for the sake of it. Again, we're regulating our nervous system. We're keeping that coming from that grounded place. What insight can you share that feels true? Just not dramatic for the sake of it. Next action. In your next post or your next message or your next conversation, let the final sentence land clearly. Action 18, next one, 18, yeah. Initiate one relationship with no agenda beyond a connection. Again, most people who work with me have already done this, but just in case. No agenda, just a connection. In your next action, write one paragraph describing what it feels like to work with you. No jargon. In proper people speak, not coachy speak. We don't want no internal transformation. We don't want no quantum leaps, right? Unless your client speaks in quantum leap terms, then they haven't got a bloody clue what a quantum leap is, right? Just no jargon. What does it feel like to work with you? Describe that. And now we've got all of these, we need to look at our commitments and the integration, what we do. Like what can we not unsee, right? So these are all of you've had the 4 questions. We're going to go back from them. I'm going to ask you questions from that. Out of all of the questions that you've just had, which one felt the most uncomfortable? Which question created the most discomfort? What pattern are you noticing across all sections? What themes playing out for you? Question 3, where are you stronger than you admit? Question 4, what blind spot, when addressed, will change everything? That's the plan of the action, that's the point of it. Question 5, what are you responsible for saying? Question 7, what support would help without pressure? Now, how can you support people without putting pressure on? How can you ask for support without putting pressure on you? Question 7, what are you ready to stop pretending about? Question 8, what would steady progress look like over 90 days to you, for you, in your business? It's going to be different for everybody. Question 9, who are you becoming throughout these questions, throughout these trainings, throughout this time that you've been growing your business? Doing the inner work, who are you becoming? And question 10, What can you quietly commit to? Not a big bells and whistles thing, but what can you commit to? And it might be commit to starting again at the beginning and working through all of this again. I don't know. It might be that you're committed to implementing a system that you know is needed. It might be sharing what you've created. So your actions are name the single most blind spot that matters most right now. Which blind spot really are you going to give attention to? And then what behavior are you going to practice consistently for 90 days? What does supportive accountability look like for you? And name one truth that you're going to stop hiding from yourself. And then last, but each week, ask yourself, what have I seen more clearly this week? Because this training has been recorded. This has just been created today to help you do your inner work. Your inner work matters. It's usually the main reason people don't grow a business. So the invitation is to do this self-audit in your mind, in your business, in your structure, in all of the different aspects, and see where you are. Don't use it to beat yourself up. Don't use it um to just hold yourself back even longer or create even more stories. Use it as a tool to spot what you hadn't seen or name what's been sticking around in the background and then take action. Because that's how we grow a business, by showing up and taking action. Love to hear what lands from you from this. Please feel free to send me a message and tell me you've watched this training and tell me what action you're going to take. What hit first? What hit you the most? Which one really stood out to you? And then in a few months' time, if you want to contact me again and say, this is what I've been doing, like, feel free to do that. Keep me updated. Bye for now.